Welcome back to Notre Dame Day, and I'm Ian Williams. Joining us now, Cappy Gagnon, class of 1966. He worked in law enforcement on the West Coast for many years before coming back to Notre Dame, where he is best known for establishing the phrase, "Welcome to Notre Dame." As he is the lead Usher program before his recent retirement, he is also the author of a book, Notre Dame Baseball Greats. Cappy, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Thanks, Ian. It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to ask you a couple things. I understand you did private security for celebrities. Who do you work with?
Well, I worked for Gavin DeBecker, who was the #1 person protecting celebrity figures. And we're not supposed to divulge the names of our clients, but if anything came out publicly, it's okay. So I was with Michael Jackson at the Grammys in 1984 when he won the 8 Grammys. And I was with Dolly Parton, so I got photographed in People magazine for some events with her. And I was in the National Enquirer with Cher when I toured with her on her 1990 world tour. So those are 3 names that I can divulge.
Wow, okay. I also heard you once broke some rules and took a movie script home to read when you weren't supposed to. Can you tell us about that story?
Fortunately, the statute of limitations has expired, so I can mention this. I was working an undercover security assignment in a talent agency, and I noticed a script lying on a table titled Rudy.
Okay.
So I thumbed through the pages and saw what it was, and took it home. And my wife said, "You stole a script?" And I said, "No, I just borrowed it for security purposes." So I actually read the script, Rudy, before anybody else saw it, and then snuck it back in the next day. And I had been at the Rudy game, so I was kind of pleased to have seen him play and then read the script early.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you graduated from Notre Dame, but came back here years later to lead the Usher program. The program you began and has become successful that many other schools have reached out to come and train ushers. How many schools have you helped with, and why do you feel this was so important?
Well, there were about 20 schools that contacted me either to appear at their school or to consult with some of their people about the methods that we used. And the idea behind the Welcome to Notre Dame greeting, 90% of the people in the stadium are Notre Dame people. So we wanted them to feel like they were being greeted as part of our Notre Dame family, not just checking their ticket and showing them where their seat was. And later on, with more concerns about security, it also meant that our ushers were more engaged with the people that they were dealing with.
Okay, awesome. Now you have to tell us a story about how you stopped that Florida State player from scalping the Notre Dame football field. What do you think about the upcoming Notre Dame football season?
Well, starting with taking the sod away from the Florida State player, I knew that they had a tradition of ripping up a piece of sod, taking it back to Tallahassee, and burying it in what they called their cemetery, and they called it a scalp. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind. And the game is over, and the team's leaving the field, and I see a player in the distance holding a big hunk of sod, and he was holding it high enough, he was a big guy, that I could see it like 30, 40 yards away. So I walked towards him, and before he could react, I put my hands on his wrists and took the sod away from him. So there was no scalp from that game. As far as our season this year, for the 55th year in a row, I'm predicting we're going to be undefeated.
As you should.
But it's going to be a tough season. We've got a tough schedule as usual and some big rivals. But I like the looks of our team this year, so I feel good. We could use another Ian Williams out there. But I think we're going to be very good.
Awesome. I know we were talking about the 3 road games that they have this year: Georgia, Stanford, and who else were you?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, so three big games that are on the road. It'd be nice to maybe put Georgia a little later in the season. But I don't see any team out there that we can't defeat.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Cappy, for your dedication to Notre Dame and for joining us here on Notre Dame Day.